Welcome back, first graders. We are now on lesson 4 in chapter 11 of comparing sets and groups of things using subtraction stories and graphs. So now we're going to practice what we've learned. Let's look, if you want to follow along, get your textbook out and go to page 24 and you'll see this page with the donuts and the balls on it. Now let's look at question number 1. Look at the donuts and the plates. Well, like all of these stories, all of these subtraction equations, we need to count the category, the things first so we can make our categories. So let's look at this. We have donuts and we have plates. Let's count the donuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 donuts. 9 donuts in our story. Now let's look at how many plates we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 plates. 7 plates. All right, there's our categories. We have donuts and we have plates. Now here's the first question. There are blank more blank than blank. A lot of blanks there, okay? Put our thinking cap on. What category do we have more of? Which category? Is it donuts or is it plates? Which is the bigger number? It's donuts, isn't it? So we have more donuts than plates. So we want to know how many, because this is asking us how many. So we know our equation is we have 9 donuts. We want to take away the plates to see how many more there are. And we know right away that 2, 9 take away 7 is 2. So there are 2, that's right, more donuts than plates. There are how many fewer plates than donuts? How many fewer? 2, that's right. The number doesn't change, does it? There are 2 fewer plates than donuts. This is just asking the similar question, same equation question in a different way. One's more and one's fewer, okay? Let's look at the red balls and the blue balls now. Look at the red balls and the blue balls. What's the very first thing we have to do in order to solve this problem? Did I hear you say count the balls? You're so right. We have to count the balls. All right, let's look at the red balls first. There's a lot of red balls, so I might have to mark them off so I get the count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 red balls, okay? I'm going to make a category over here. So now we need to count the blue ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 blue balls. Okay? All right, now we're ready. Now we can answer our questions. There are blank more blank than blank. So which category do we have more of? That's right, we have more red balls, don't we? So we want to know how many more red balls we have. So we need to do another equation. We're going to take our red balls minus our blue balls, and that's going to be the difference. We know that right off the bat is 3. Okay? So there are, right, 3 more red balls than blue balls. And another way to say that, there are how many fewer blue balls than red balls? How do we say that? 3 fewer blue balls than red. And here's the equation right here. 12 take away 9 equals 3. Good. All right, turn your page. Let's look at the next one. Flamingos. I like it. I like flamingos. Now you guys can do this one. What's the first thing we have to do when we look at a problem like this? What's the very first thing we need to do? We have to count, don't we? This has flamingos and shrimps in there. They don't look like shrimps very much from here, but maybe in your book it looks more like shrimps. They look like little yellow or red U's to me. So let's count them. That's the first thing we have to do because we have to know how many flamingos and how many shrimp there are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flamingos. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shrimp. I'm going to put an F for flamingos and an S for shrimp. Are there more flamingos or shrimp? Which one's the bigger number? Well, that's easy, isn't it? 8's bigger than 6. We have 8 shrimp, 6 flamingos. We have more shrimp than we have flamingos. Are there more flamingos or shrimp? There are more shrimp. How many more? How do we figure this out? What do we have to do? Think about it. What do we have to do? Oh, yeah, we have to make an equation. The equation is the amount of shrimp minus the amount of flamingos is going to give us the difference of those two numbers. The difference is subtraction. We take 6 away from 8 and we get 2. So here's your equation. You write it right in here. 8 take away 6 equals 2. There are blank more blank than blank. Did I hear you say there are 2 more shrimp than flamingos? I'm sure I heard you say that, and that means that you're right. All right, now let's look at this last one, or next one. There might be another page. Make up a subtraction story for 14 take away 7. Well, that's going to be easy, isn't it? Let's see, I'll bet you there's 14 stamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 envelopes. Can you make up a subtraction story for that? I think you probably can. We could say, how many more stamps are there than envelopes? How many fewer envelopes are there than stamps? Okay? Easy peasy. Let's go to the graphing page. I like the graphs. Okay? Good. Let me do some erasing. And we want to make sure we can see our workbook page at the bottom there. But I want to see the title. We'll come back down to it for our graph here. Okay, let's look at this one. Did you guys turn your page? Turn your page in your textbook. Now we're on page 26. Vegetables we like. Do we like any vegetables? Yeah, we do. We do have a few vegetables that we like, I think. Let's look at that. We have 4 categories. I'm pretty sure you can see them. We have peas, broccoli, corn, and asparagus. Asparagus. Now each fork looks like it represents one child's favorite vegetable. Okay? So now, blank children were asked which of the 4 vegetables they liked best. So if a fork equals a child, then that means we need to count all the forks to figure out how many children they asked to get this whole graph in here. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put 5 here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 children were polled to make this graph and figure out which vegetables they liked best. That's how you figure out what number goes in there. You count all the forks. How many children liked peas? Blank children liked peas. Well, we already counted that one right away, right? That's 5. 5 children liked peas. Blank more children liked corn than broccoli. Well, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 children liked corn, and 3 children liked broccoli. What's the difference? That's going to give us the answer to this question. And we know right away 7 take away 3 is 4. 4 more children liked corn than broccoli. Blank fewer children liked asparagus than corn. Asparagus, there were only 2 children that liked it. And corn is the favorite, isn't it? Corn is the one that has the most. So we take 7, take away 2. We know right away that equals 5. 5 fewer children liked asparagus than corn. Most children don't like asparagus, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's look at the last graph we have here, and then we'll go on to our workbook page for more practice on graphs. This graph is called beads. You see it in your book? It's called beads. And each one of these represents one bead, okay? Again, the categories, they've switched, haven't they? On this graph, they had the categories at the bottom. On this graph, they're on the side. It doesn't matter how they put the categories as long as they're there. And we can count how many are on the other side, or on the bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 blue beads. And we could go ahead, I don't want you to write in your textbook, but I'm going to write this here just so we can see. If you needed to really look at a graph and figure out what the numbers were, you could pencil them in just to help you to get the numbers straight. There are blank blue beads. Well, we know right away because we just counted them. There are 9 blue beads. There are 5 more blank than blank. Ooh, that's a tough one. There are 5 more blank than blank. Let's see if we can look at that from a perspective of there are 5 more. If we went here to the orange ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there we go. That's it, isn't it? There are 5 more blue beads than there are red beads, or I guess this is orange, than there are orange beads. Because we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anything in this one, there's actually 5 beads here, so that wouldn't work. And there's more beads in yellow, so this is the one that's going to work. There are 5 more orange beads than blue. There are 2 fewer blank than blank. 2 two fewer blank than blank. Well, it looks like here we have two that are missing here. There are two fewer orange than yellow. Right? Two fewer. There are two fewer orange than yellow beads. That's one way to do it, or you could do the equation if you wanted. For the top one, there are 5 more orange than blue. You could take blue is 9 and orange is 4. That equation equals 5. You could do it for each one and then find the one that actually fits this equation. For the orange and yellow, there are, looks like 6 yellow and 4 orange. So there are two fewer orange beads than yellow. Okay? Exercise 4, page 25 in the workbook. This will give you more practice with graphs and with subtraction stories. And then we'll move on to the assessment. I'll see you next time.